guys are welcome back to The Secret Life of Adults. My name is Kojo Yankson.
Mine is Animwaa.
All right. Big thanks to Comfort Productions and, of course, to Oak Plaza Hotel for all the hospitality. Anyway,
Kojo.
What's the best sex you've ever had?
Okay. That was quite a bang.
Was it now?
Yes. Best sex I've ever had. Oh, there have been so many good times. I can't actually, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I can't say for sure though that sex has gotten better as I've gotten older.
You can't say.
No, I can say.
You can say, okay.
I can say for sure that sex has gotten better as I've gotten older, as opposed to when I was younger. So that's one thing. I can't look back on one time and say, oh, this was the absolute best, because at different times, best is different. Do you know what I mean?
I knew the answer would not be straightforward.
I'm sure, yeah. So, I mean, I can't say one time, but I would say that definitely as I've gotten older.
But can you
remember? I think I can also say that my most recent sexual experiences have been the best.
Can you remember specific moments, events that that have happened during sex or with particular partners, and you've thought to yourself, "Wallahi talai"?
Wow, I'm trying to be very modest and.
There's no place for that here.
Yeah, I'm struggling with that a little bit, to be honest. Well, yes, I mean, definitely there've been people who have been amazing.
What makes a man amazing
at sex?
At sex.
I think fundamentally the way that he's able to make you feel, and I don't even mean physically, immediately, but how he makes you feel generally. So not how you feel about him, but how he is able to make you feel in his words or his actions. You know, there's in every woman, there's a confident, sexy, I feel desired version. So if a man can tap into that and make you feel like his desire for you is so most likely you'll have really amazing sex. Does that make sense?
No, not at all.
Wow, Kojo.
No, I'm kidding. Of course, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Maybe what I'm working on in my mind is how to translate that into a physical illustration that everyone can understand. Guys can understand. Women can understand.
Okay, I think don't hide your desire. Step one in having really great sex with a man, don't hide your desire. It's really nice to not have to work to give you a hard on. So if maybe just, because of the moment, or you walk into a room and you see me a certain way, you're hard. That for one thing is like, okay, wow, it's like my existence alone is enough to make you feel, this way. Because sometimes women feel like I'll tell you another thing about women and sex. A lot of times we have to come out of ourselves and play a role because we're thinking about what you like. We're also thinking about angles. We're thinking about angles.
It's not a photo shoot.
So, for example, if you have a big stomach, right, then you're thinking about the angle of which where your body will be. That doesn't accentuate the bigness of your stomach.
So you are still worrying about how you look to this man who is already inside you and erect.
Yeah.
You think at that point he still cares what you look like.
I mean, yeah.
Do you realize how irrational that is?
Because of the way you are saying it. Because of the way you are saying it, yes. But we do care.
It really doesn't matter.
So whilst we're having sex, we're worrying about a lot of things.
The man is already erect and is already doing it.
We're still worrying a lot.
He doesn't care anymore.
I
what
get
you
that,
look like.
Kojo, but we're worrying about lots of things. We're worried about our breath, for one. We're worried about our smells, our secretions, and what kind, depending on where we are in the cycle, what the smells may be like. Sometimes we're worried about farting. Sometimes we really want to pee. So then you're worried about that too. Then you're also worried, are my breasts looking flat depending on how I'm lying? Is my stomach lying a certain way? Maybe I have this heat rash here. Like, oh my God, he's going down on me. Oh no, he's going to see the heat rashes. Oh my God, okay, should I talk about the heat rashes? Should I explain why maybe my inner thighs are a little bit darker? Okay, maybe not. Okay, maybe he won't notice. Okay, let me put up the light. Okay, fine. Okay, looks like he's not noticing. Oh God, I wonder if it smells fine. Can he breathe? Like, is my stomach like stifling him? Like, oh my God, is he okay? Okay, he seems okay. Yeah.
He's still alive.
Yeah. I mean, so our minds are very active during sex. No matter how good it is, there's always...
I was going to ask you, so how are you able to enjoy it if you are this analytical during
So
sex?
we'll enjoy it. It's a ratio, maybe 5-2. Enjoy for 5 seconds, worry for 2. Enjoy for 5 seconds, worry for 2. Enjoy for 5 seconds, worry for 2. So if you catch us in that 5, then maybe that'll make the orgasms easier. But if you catch us in the 2, then you have to wait for the next wave of 5. Does it make sense?
Yes, you women are missing out.
Yeah, no, we worry.
Do you know how completely comatose our brains are during sex?
Really?
We focus on nothing but the physical pleasure of what is going on.
Are you serious?
What else is there to think about?
Really?
What else is there? Look, it erases all superior thought. So your problems, your issues, your headaches, your insecurities, none of it exists in the moment where you are experiencing physical sexual pleasure with a woman.
Really?
So no distractions whatsoever. Rather, if you are with someone who is too self-conscious, who is, and showing it, so worrying about her angles and, concerned about when you're trying to go down and she's stopping you, and those things rather take you out of that zone.
Then focus on...
Then you are worrying about unnecessary things.
But also, is it maybe the length of time that you've been with the person also? I mean, if I've been with you longer, then maybe I'm not as worried. But especially with new partners, you are worried about some of these things. I mean, I don't think it always takes away from the pleasure, but we're definitely, thinking about it. I mean, it is what it is.
Amazing. Look, me, I don't know if I can speak for all men. Let me tell you my personal experience. What means good sex to me? Anything that shows that this woman is no longer in control.
Of herself?
Of anything. So if you are talking nonsense, if you are secreting, all these things you are worried about, you are peeing and farting and whatever it is you are doing, as long as it's not what you would have done if you were in control, that's good sex.
Wow.
Because you see, the more out of control you are, the more you are talking nonsense, your eyes are rolling into the top of your head and you are shaking. All of these things tell me that I'm doing it right. Right? And it makes a man feel powerful, that he can have this effect on this strong, intelligent, well-accomplished woman who is walking around town in heels and everybody respects her. Come and look at what I'm doing to her.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
That is good sex to a man. That ability to make you lose your inhibitions. So that no matter how controlled you are, you just can't control yourself anymore.
I mean, sometimes I wish I was a man.
Yeah. I think from what we've just explained, we are getting the better part of
Yeah,
the
no,
deal.
I wish I was just a man, because for a woman to really enjoy sex, there's so many things that have to be okay. Depending on the time of the month. So there's a time of the month when we're really horny. It's like, hey, bish, bish, bash, bash, good to go. You know? But those days are not as many as the off days. So on the off days, it's a different factors, go into making good sex. Like I was telling you in one of the episodes, we put sex in different categories. So depending on how we're feeling, if you're able to satisfy that more deeper desire than the basic instinct of sex, then the sex becomes good. So if, for example, we've had a conversation and I've been able to offload something, I've been able to cry and tell you how I feel, and I feel like you've accepted, my feelings, and you've hugged me, and then out of that, there's very tender love making, then the sex is amazing because there's been all of that. Do you get what I mean? Or on the days when maybe I feel like I really dressed up and I'm trying to look sexy, and you may or may not pretend to be completely flawed, then it's like, okay, the sex is good on that day. There are days when it's just about, the tenderness. There are days when it's about the passion. There are days when we want, the fast, quick, boosh, boosh, whatever. So it's difficult. I mean, it's just different. We're just complex like that, and it's unfortunate. And also because, if we're talking about sex, then we should talk about orgasms, and it's almost an unfair balance that most men will have an orgasm at the end of sex. And yet, I think the last time I checked, the statistics was about 80% of women will not orgasm through penetrative sex. So you're having sex with me, but I'm not going to orgasm, with the pig in the hole. You know what I mean? So it's going to take external, do you know what I mean? So that gratification is not always there. So then the enjoyment of the sex sometimes is not even about the orgasm, it's about the emotional connection or about something else. So it's not, do you get what I mean? It's not one layered for us like that.
And that's an important thing for men to understand. Because one of the things that I learned, I can't pretend that I always knew it or I was born with the knowledge, but over time, what I've come to discover is that because the most pleasurable thing for me is seeing my woman lose her mind, for now, and maybe it's kind of like what you were saying about how sex is better when you get older. Now, some of my most pleasurable sexual moments weren't during penetration.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't the best part of it, right? It was maybe somewhere in the first 20 minutes or whatever, when I had you tied up with my necktie and I was using some toy. Why is it too much information? It's a podcast about the best sex, and you don't want to talk about the best sex.
Okay, fine, go ahead. You were using a toy.
Yeah, that was the best part for me. Because, that was
How many days are we away from Sunday? Today is Monday. Okay, all right, fine.
Today is Sunday. The things you do on Sunday. You come to claim
I go
Sunday
to church on Sunday. Go on.
Anyway.
Also, this is a very valid point. You see me, right? You know that I'm very liberal. I'm quite evolved in my thinking, very open-minded. In the midst of all of that, the socialization of a good church girl is still there. So I'm doing the podcast, I'm having the conversation, but I am conscious of the fact that am I putting myself there as, somebody who's respectable, or somebody who goes to church, or somebody who goes there. And sometimes it translates into the bedroom. Do you know what I mean? Because you hear, people, there's always some view on something. Oral sex is this is this, And then there's also to a certain extent the narrative that a woman, you see, if you're sleeping with somebody, you shouldn't be like, too much. Because then if you know too much, then it'd be like, say you dare, So if, for example, you're giving a guy a blowjob and he says, like, you suck like a pro, that's amazing. You don't know whether it is, a compliment or, like, is he thinking I'm a hoe? Why are you laughing?
The clue is in the word amazing. I think that's where you should get your understanding.
Does it not go? Do you not think about why does she give such a good blowjob?
Do you know, anytime someone has performed a sexual act with expertise on me, I've assumed that they kind of YouTubed it or something.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, if that's what you guys think, then we'll be more
I
willing.
I can't speak for all.
No,
guys.
but you get what I'm saying.
I get it.
Sometimes you want to be a bit more naive than you are because you don't want. You see, and the other thing is that women, I don't know if maybe the Gen Zs or whatever, but women also tie sex with respect. Because there's always the fear of, once you sleep with me, I'm going to be less in your eyes. And I mean, I guess that has to do with the conquering and the desire and all of that. So we're trying to be as respectable in the process so that even though it's good and you enjoy it and we enjoy it, I'm not losing all of my dignity, because I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It shouldn't be like that, but it's subconsciously there's... Do you get what I'm saying?
I get it. I do understand. Maybe this will help, okay? If women can get it straight in their heads that if a man has sex with you once and ghosts, it wasn't that good.
So who wasn't that good? You were.
The sex wasn't that good. Why must it be one person or the other? The experience wasn't that good.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
it was
I
him.
contributed.
Maybe it was him. It doesn't matter. The point is, if he ghosts, it wasn't that good. So don't be afraid of a man ghosting out of disrespect.
Okay. Do you get that?
It's nothing to do. I understand that's how
we take it personally.
You take it that way, yes. But what I'm explaining to you is that in truth, it's not that. Okay. It's not a respect thing. If a man has sex with you and it's good, why won't he want more? Where's he going? Where's he going? And I don't even know. Look, it doesn't matter whether it's a single man, it's a man with commitments, whatever. If it's good, why doesn't he want more?
I mean, I get that. It doesn't.
So don't be worried in advance.
We do that.
That he will ghost because he won't respect you.
No. The ghosting is not because it's not the respect. The ghost. It's not that we're afraid that you'll ghost us because you don't respect us. But we've been taught. And you see, it's in the way we do the purity teachings that a woman's value decreases as she is more sexual.
Not with the same person.
Well, whether it's with the same person or it's with different people,
your value doesn't decrease if you are more sexual with the same person. Your value increases if you are more sexual.
Does it decrease if you're more sexual with different people?
That is the conventional view. Yes, that's the conventional view. Okay, because yes, it's true. Men value purity, or the semblance of purity.
Which is why sometimes, first time we're not trying to twerk and all that.
But it's not purity as in you don't like sex. It's purity as in you are not accessible to all men.
Oh, you haven't done this before?
No, I don't know if men value that. The men who value that, there are a certain group of men. Mm-hmm. I think that there's a little bit of insecurity. Any man who wants a virgin, like someone who's never had sex before, I ask myself, Ezeneria then, like, what for? Look, there's nothing more attractive than a woman who likes what you're doing to her. Okay? Whether she's done it before or not. If what you're doing, she likes it, it's attractive.
Yeah.
Right? So this idea of purity and someone who doesn't know so that whatever you are doing to her is alien and strange to her, you have to maybe be a certain type of person with your own issues like that. And
I'm speaking generally. I don't want to talk for myself per se, because I may not be an accurate reflection of the majority. So this is, generally. But then again, of course, you meet women who are very fine with their bodies. I mean, obviously still a bit worried about angles and stuff, but are able to completely let loose, legs wide open, devour me if you must, just don't get lost in there or don't lose something or whatever. And then it's fine. It's like, all right, it's
tie a rope to your leg.
And that's why you can come out. You know what I mean? And then it's fine. But I think the best sex for a woman comes when she's comfortable with herself and comfortable with her body and knows what she likes. I'm a big believer in communication during sex, because I would rather, I'm a very enter the net person, So I'm impatient in
What is
life.
that?
I'm impatient in life, and it reflects in art. So I can't do foreplay for too long. You know, I'm like, Shasawale's enter the net. Let's get it going. You know what I mean? So I would very much prefer to tell you what works for me during foreplay than, you know, that whole idea of let's laze and explore my whole body. No, parts of my body, you know, some parts are a desert, some parts are in retirement, some parts don't work anymore. Some parts,
Which parts of you don't work anymore?
you know, I'm figuratively. And then some parts work. So I would like to be able to tell you, Kojo, you know, okay, do this, or use my responses to measure what I'm enjoying and what I'm not enjoying.
Guys are supposed to be doing that anyway.
I don't think that some of them are.
And men who don't do that are a little bit selfish and insensitive, because, like, what else are you paying attention to if not whether what you're doing is working?
Where I'm going.
Like
the destination is very important.
Yeah, for the destination. How lost can you get?
No, you know what I mean? Like, some people just, they know what they know, so they do what they know. And
yeah, I think that you have to be a little bit self-centered. You know, if all you think about is your
pleasure,
what works for you.
So yeah. So Kojo, also another thing that goes into curating the best sex is a guy who knows what he's doing. Because sex, to a certain extent, is also skill. You know what I mean? You don't want to be trying to not have achieved the needed amount of wetness, or you're you know, shooting in the wrong direction, or, you know, going into wrong rabbit holes and just clumsy. You know, so it's important that a guy knows what he's doing, that there's a rhythm, that there's a system. There's something about a skilled lover. You know, somebody who knows what he's doing, that's very, very sexy. And also kind of allows you to relax, because there's also an element of trust that's needed. I need to know that my body is safe with you, that you won't hurt me, that you won't, like, bam, thrust straight into the wrong hole because, like, you didn't know where you were going. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, when there's more skill, you can't deny, you know, the fact that skill is important.
You think, in a certain converse way, skill is attractive in a man in bed, but
Not necessarily
innocence is attractive in a woman?
I think, I mean, there was a time that I was dating a guy, and I was having, this was many, many years ago, I was having a conversation with him about pushing the boundaries of, you know, sex, so trying new things. And some of the things I suggested, he was like, I could never imagine doing that with somebody I wanted to marry.
Hey.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because this was maybe, like, I don't know, years and years and years ago.
Why? What did you suggest?
I didn't suggest anything out of the box. I'm not going to say it.
Then clearly it was out of the box.
Well, it wasn't that far out. It was at the top of the box. But do you know what I mean? And so it kind of gave me the idea that, okay, there are some things that are more wifely and some things that are more holy. So, you know, you don't, unless you know for sure that, okay, I'm never going to be in a love relationship with this person, so I don't want to be holy. You know what I mean? But if it's like a holy situation, then it's like, okay, I'm just going to be holy.
Yeah. I don't know if I speak for all guys, but personally, the only thing I need is that, even if it's an illusion, I just need that impression that I am your only sexual partner at that time. I don't care how many partners you've had in the past.
I see.
Right? I just want that impression that this thing that we are doing, and I'm saying impression because who knows whether it's true or not, that this thing that we are doing is something you only want to do with me. Right? I think for me that erases any holiness, or in that situation, I don't care what you want. I don't care what you like. I'm willing to push the envelope as long as we're not going to cause each other harm.
Yeah.
I'm willing to push the envelope to whatever, you know, because me, I'm looking for the thing that's going to make you mad.
Okay,
so, I don't care where you want us to take it, right? As long as I can have in my mind this view that it's just me
us.
that you want to.
I think it's both ways, perhaps, because when you're sleeping with a guy, you don't want to feel like, oh, he's doing this with so many other people. There's something, you want a certain exclusivity. You want a bubble, a feeling that this is something that just the two of us have. And then again, sex is different with every partner. I've found, over the years that sleeping with people it's not the same, feeling. It's everybody is different. The way they kiss, the way they touch you, the way they feel inside you, it's different. Whether it's about size or shape or whatever it is. And so in that moment, it's nice if, it's kind of like just the two of you. I would also say that for me, and I don't know how many other women it applies to, sex is always better when I love you. That's just for me, because I get that there's people who are really into casual sex, but when the feelings and the emotions are intense, it translates into every touch burns. Do you know what I mean? Or every movement is more, and when like I said, when I feel desired and I can be sexy with you. I don't know if you know this, but it's not every man that a woman can be sexy with. Depending on the kinds of conversations that have gone on, if you've been a little bit uptight or you've, made some comments about things, we may feel like we cannot be as sexy. Maybe I don't feel like I can drink wine with you and let my hair down, or maybe you've made comments about, then, so I think that also men have to realize that the build up to sex is in every conversation, from the get-go.
Yeah.
So be careful about what you're feeding her, so that when it gets to that moment, she feels accepted and loved by. The more accepted and loved and desired she feels, the better the chances of her enjoying.
It's funny, when I was much younger, when I was in uni, I guess, there was this girl that I had liked forever, like since we were teenagers, but she'd always been with someone, or I'd always been with someone, so we never got together until this somewhere near like end of my time in uni, when suddenly it seemed like the stars aligned. But this girl was very sophisticated, came from a wealthy family, had this air about her. She was one of the few girls on campus who had a car, and it wasn't just any car, a nice Mercedes Benz. And, so like this girl was like proper flex, right? And I was intimidated by her, right? And so every conversation I had with her was so like respectful and borderline formal, and like we were talking about these high concepts and philosophies and things. Like I was really trying to impress her, and she's really smart as well, so like these conversations would go in weird directions. Now I remember after we had kind of agreed that we like each other, right? And one night she came to my room, and like from our conversations all day was like, tonight's the night, we're going to do it.
Tonight's the night.
And this girl, came in, we sat down, I got her some wine, whatever, we sat and we were talking and laughing, and the conversation just could not get sexual.
Oh.
We could, like, I was too...
Couldn't come out of the formality.
Yeah.
Oh. That's
right?
all the thing.
And like we're both sitting there, we couldn't even touch or kiss or anything. We were just there, like deers in the headlights, just and we kept talking and talking. I swear to God, we talked till about 1 a.m.
And then that was
until somebody fell asleep.
Wow.
And that was it. That thing never happened to this day. Right?
Yeah.
And I keep thinking back about it, and I think so at some point in that conversation, I decided that the risk of making a move was not worth like whatever pleasure it is I thought I would get out of this sex. So I'm just not going to take that risk.
That's interesting.
So we just kept talking.
And then that was it. Never happened. So anyway, so that's, I guess it solidifies the point that, from the get-go. And go ahead.
I was going to say, let's give people advice. Like, give men advice on specific things they should do to be good in bed.
Oh, wow.
And please, no high concepts.
No. Specifics. No smelly balls. No smelly balls.
That sounds important.
It's very, very important. Make sure that you're clean, and you don't have to smell good, but don't smell. That's very important. Good breath. Breath is important. So again, I think generally smells are a big thing. And then also pay attention, because leading up to the sex, she would have given you, a few hints on what she might like. She may be a music person during sex, a silent, a lights off person. So kind of cater to the specificities of her desires. don't push too quickly. There's something Uncle Ibo always says. He says that small boys climb trees to pick unripe mangoes. Mature men stand under the tree and wait for the ripe mango to fall. You know a woman wants you when she's holding it and directing it there herself. It's like, so restrain yourself a little bit, give her the time to ease into it. And so for that initial, I would say, thrust, let her lead it. Let her sort of give you the indication that I'm ready or I want you. When you do that, you probably get a woman who is more ready for you than someone who's not. And remember that for women, foreplay is what we hear from the morning. Just be sexy, and yeah.
That's good. That's good advice.
The smelly balls is so important.
Later, I'll let you advise women as well. But
wow.
But let me give my tip. Women should understand their power, right? You have the power to set and break the mood.
Oh yeah.
Right. And look, arousal is a function of the mind. Okay. So you have the ability to destroy a man's mood and kill it. It's only while he's in the mood that he can be erect. It's only while he's erect that sex can happen. I mean, you can't smash with a floppy disk.
No, you can't.
So it's only right. So you have the power to destroy, and there are things women do that destroy the mood and they don't realize.
Like what?
Like asking stupid questions.
Like what are stupid questions? No, I mean, like, give me an example.
Okay, I'll give you an example, an experience I've had. Woman asking me like halfway through sex, why have you got that look on your face? What is it?
Why is that a stupid question, though?
Like, what's the matter?
I do that sometimes. Are you okay? Are you there?
Are you there?
What's wrong with you? Like, why'd you look like that?
What a question. What do you think that does to his mood?
It's not a mood thing. It's an answer to the question.
It's a mood thing.
Are you there?
Everything you do will either accentuate or destroy the mood.
So we can't ask questions?
No, ask foolish questions.
So what are good questions?
Like, do you like that?
Oh.
That's a good question.
So we can't ask, are you there? Are you okay?
Why? Are you testing him after a lobotomy? Why, what a question.
Are you okay is not a good question. I mean, can you see my honest shock?
Now, are you okay then? Is there something about that thing you are doing that he looks un-okay with?
Ooh. So shouldn't ask, are you okay?
No.
Shouldn't ask, are you there?
No.
Shouldn't ask, why do you have that expression? Like, why do you have that expression, though?
And questions that take away from what is going on, right? You're in a moment of raw passion and all that, and then you're going to ask some foolish question like, what was the one? That was the typical one. So what are we?
Oh, in the middle.
In the middle.
Oh, that's a bit extreme.
You think so? Maybe you wouldn't ask. But did you hear the response around the room?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I mean, for me, sometimes in the middle, I remember really funny things. So sometimes I'll laugh or try to crack a joke or sing a song. Like, yeah, I mean, sometimes.
Another thing, don't do anything that suggests that what I'm doing is having no effect on you.
No, it is, which is why I've remembered the song.
Then get up and leave. Like, don't waste anybody else's time. If clearly what he's doing is not
I'm enjoying it. That's why I'm so. For example, Kelly Rowland's "Go Harder." Da, 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 da. So like maybe you do some one move. Wait, let me finish. No, let's do extra time for this. So maybe you do a one move, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, go harder.
But why do you have to sing? It's not an Able White play. Why do you have to sing along to it? Like, say something. Like, you can tell him to go harder. You can tell him that that's good. But like, if you have the presence of mind to burst into song,
so you
then what he's doing is not really. It's like it's not really doing anything.
So you can't be making us and then you remember how the weather outside is frightful. Let us know.
Are you banging Father Christmas? Okay, Nimo. Now I'm even afraid to ask you to advise women.
I better not.
Are you qualified to advise women at this point?
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
At me, the only advice I was going to give to men. I think many men get this wrong. When a woman tells you she's about to come, don't change anything you are doing.
I don't know why you do that sometimes.
Don't pretend you haven't heard.
So same pace,
Just the
same angle.
thing. Keep doing the same. Don't men get very excited.
Like you're about to come, so
and
then it's gone.
When
like,
you tell him that you're about to come, he feels like it. Then suddenly he's all over the place and oh Charlie. The worst one is when a woman says I'm coming and then he stops.
Yeah.
What is that?
Like, why have you stopped? Like, I'm coming. Pardon?
No. He's as if he needs to hold in place.
Yeah, some people, like hold in place. No.
What's that?
Just don't stop what you're doing.
Whatever you are doing, just the same. Just keep doing it, massa. Don't even move your hand. If your hand is about to break, keep it there.
Preferably don't breathe. Don't move. Yeah, that's my. No, that's a really good one. That's a really good one.
This is a good place to be.
Yeah, it is.
I'm kind of shy now.
Why? But yeah, maybe we'll do a part 2 on having great sex. So.
We might have to.
Yeah.
Say 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's give it something.